Okay, we have David here doing measurements on aluminum to the 100th of an inch of accuracy. So David's measured that size to be square and put a check mark on it. We're doing a 12-inch cut, so he's made a thick line at the 12-inch mark. Now with the speed square and a chisel tip marker, he's going to make a fat line, like a 1/4 of an inch wide line that overlaps on both sides the desired cut mark. And now that steel tab on the end wiggles, and it wiggles so much that there's an 1/8 of an inch variance. So he's going to burn an inch and line up exactly splitting the 1 inch tick. And then with the tape measure straight, aligned with the grain of the aluminum, so it's straight across. He's going to split the inch line, and see he's holding it in place with his other finger. He's going to make a little scratch, exactly splitting 13, because he dropped an inch on that end, so he's adding an inch on this end to make his 12-inch cut. So he has the teeniest little scratch, which shows up nicely. Now using the speed square, he'll extend that scratch. Now that razor blade tip is 1/100th of an inch wide. So we're able to be as accurate as our measuring tool is to the 100th of an inch using this method. And you don't have to press down hard at all, it's just a little scratch. In fact, the harder we press, the less accurate the line becomes. Yep, nice, looking good, because it'll make it wider if we press down hard. Alright, we've now made the measurement to the 100th of an inch. Now when we chalk this up in the saw, again we keep in mind the check mark side, that's our good side that we keep, and we line the blade up so that the right hand side of the cutting blade barely overlaps the scratched line that we're cutting. That way that saw blade width, it doesn't directly cut along that line, or else we'd be slightly inaccurate again. And we're building cars here and we want to be to the 100th of an inch. So optically, when that saw blade is touching the aluminum corner and optically it has just eclipsed the scratch mark, we will leave the entire 12 inches and the saw blade will only take the scratch mark and then material to the left-hand side. Then we'll put a new check mark, because that's cut to square, after we measure that it's square, and make any adjustments to the blade necessary to continue square cutting. And then cut our next one. And David will absolutely secure his hoodie ties before we turn on the saw blade.